What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about, should South Asian men use dating apps or should they do cold approach in order to improve their dating life? Now, if you're new to the channel, my name's Nayar and I help South Asian men improve their dating life. So if you're a South Asian guy who's struggling with your dating life, I highly encourage you to check out my program, South Asian Warriors. So you can check it out by clicking that first link in the description. In addition to my South Asian Warriors program, I highly encourage you to check out my free Discord server. That is the third link in the description. Basically is an open forum where you can ask questions related to fitness, dating, self-improvement. Again, this is completely free. Be sure to check out the third link in the description to join the free Discord, man. And again, if you're somebody who's struggling with your dating life, be sure to check out that first link in the description to join my South Asian Warriors program, man. So hopping back into the video, we're going to be breaking down the pros and cons of each method of meeting women. Cold approach versus dating apps. So we all know, like, the statistics out there, Asian men and Indian men have the least amount of success on dating apps. But the thing is, most of you guys, when I look at your dating app profiles, if you're a client of mine or you've gone on a coaching call with me, the problem is your dating app profiles are absolute garbage. A lot of you guys have profiles with all these mirror selfies, sunglass photos, photos of you where women can't even clearly see your face, photos of you in weird angles, blurry photos, photos with friends and stuff in your pictures, man. Friends who are even mogging you in a look standpoint. So there's a whole nother issue right there with dating apps. It's the fact that most South Asian men just have shitty dating profiles. Now, when we're looking at this specific topic of dating apps versus cold approach, right? If you've really taken the time to improve your dating app profile, and at the same time, you're a guy who's really conquered approach anxiety, has some element of at least decent social skills, right? Isn't afraid to approach. Which method, dating apps versus cold approach, which method is ultimately better? So starting with dating apps, one of the biggest pros is the fact that you clearly know what the girl's intentions are, right? You're on a dating app, most likely the girl is going to be single and ready to mingle, whereas with cold approach, you don't know for sure. Cold approach, you're kind of shooting darts out there. You don't really know what the woman's intentions are. It's almost like you're shooting darts with a blindfold. You might see a cute girl, but at the end of the day, right, she doesn't have, a sticker on her forehead saying whether or not she's single. So that is the pro number one of dating apps. The intention is much more straightforward. So pro number two when it comes to using dating apps is the fact that they don't take that much time out of your day. What I usually like to do when it comes to dating apps is 3 or 4 times out of the day, I'll set a timer for certain time blocks throughout the day for no more than 5 to 10 minutes of just, going on the dating app, matching, swiping, talking to women on there. They don't take that much time out of your day as opposed to a cold approach session, right? Where you could be walking around your city, even just for like 45 minutes to an hour is still a lot of time gone. Even if you're working, say like a 9-to-5 job, and then you come back after work, right? Say you go to the gym, right? Eat dinner, then you got maybe a side hustle you're working on. Especially on weekdays, you don't have a lot of time to get in, that, I guess, cold approach session or a time block where, you can walk around town for like an hour. Even if you're, say, go out during like your lunch break, even that may not be enough time depending on, the foot traffic and how many people are out there and your location for sure. Whereas with most dating apps, you can kind of swipe these days and pick a specific location to like a city that's closer to you. You can increase that mile radius where the radius of the dating app is picking up people that are in a city that is closest to you, your closest city, right? So that is definitely another pro of dating apps. And then lastly, It's the fact that it isn't that hard to stand out on dating apps. You know, like I said earlier, a lot of South Asian guys, when I look at your dating apps, you don't put in that much effort. And really, not just South Asian guys, but most men in general, when you look at the average guy's dating app profile, filled with mirror selfies, it's filled with low quality photos, photos of them at weird angles, photos of them with horrible lighting, photos of them not showcasing any aspect of their lifestyle, just weird photos. It could even be gym selfies, a bunch of group photos as well, where it's hard to tell who they specifically are. Nowadays, it is very easy to stand out and create a really good dating app profile. So if you do put in that effort, you can definitely stand out on dating apps, man. Even if you are a minority, it depends how much effort you're really willing to go into constructing a really good dating app profile. Now let's talk a little bit about the cons of using dating apps. So number one, and one of the biggest cons of using dating apps, is the fact that statistically there is more men than women on these dating apps. So right off the bat, you're at a statistical disadvantage. And number two, there are a lot of catfishing. There's a lot of catfishing going on dating apps. A lot of people in general tend to put on photos on these dating apps of them from several years ago, could even be 4 to 5 years ago. Whereas with Cold Approach, you're not going to really be catfished in a sense, right? Because right then and there, the woman is right in front of you. You know exactly what she looks like. And the thing is, since women in general have it a lot easier on dating apps in terms of getting matches, you can't necessarily blame them for not having up-to-date, high-par, high-tier profiles just because of the amount of attention women tend to get in general, regardless of, you know, their photos on dating apps. Somewhere out there's going to be some simp swiping for her. But really the main problem is the fact that there's a lot of catfishing going on dating apps. So it can be a real letdown. We've all been there. We matched with the girl on a dating app and then you meet her in real life and, well, let's just say she doesn't quite look like the photo. And then lastly, it's the fact that dating apps are very broad in the sense that there's so many out there, and it can honestly be a little bit addicting, even regardless of if you're somebody who's getting a ton of matches or even if you're somebody who's not getting a lot of matches. The fact that there are a lot of dating apps out there always tends to make you wonder if one dating app is better than the other. It can be very addicting. In addition to them being addicting, you constantly thinking the what if factor. What if I tried this dating app? What if I try Bumble? What if I try Tinder? What if I try Hinge? What if I try Match? What if I try OkCupid? There's so many different types of dating apps out there. They can be addicting. Psychologically start wondering if one dating app might work out better than the other for you, man. Those are some of the cons of dating apps. Now, moving on to the pros of Cold Approach, right? Let's switch gears and talk about Cold Approach. What are some of the biggest pros of Cold Approach? So as I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about the cons of dating apps, the whole aspect of catfishing, Cold Approach, you don't need to worry obviously about the catfishing aspect. And number two is the whole conversation and social skills aspect of Cold Approach. Not only does your social skills increase, but Cold Approach really can transform your life from a career aspect, man. When I mean career aspect, just being able to start conversations with strangers. If you think about it, when you go off for a job interview or a phone interview, or if you're in business and sales and marketing and you have to talk to strangers, it's very similar because you're talking to somebody who's cold, who you don't know, who's a complete stranger. It really helps you develop your speaking ability. It helps you with your conversation skills, talking to strangers, introducing yourself, talking about a specific topic, really putting yourself out there. Those types of skills, having better social and conversation skills, they can help in a lot of different areas in your life. And number three, one of the biggest pros of Cold Approach is the fact that you're literally setting yourself up in a way where you're separating yourself from 99% of people out there. In today's dating market, you want every single advantage. You want to take every single advantage that you can get. There's so many opportunities out there that most people miss day to day. And when you learn cold approach and you overcome approach anxiety and you just have that ability to not psych yourself out and just simply go up to that cute girl and simply just introduce yourself, again, you're separating yourself from 99% of people that just don't have that skill set, that don't have the balls to even just do something as simple as that. You're really separating yourself, man. Think about the last time you went to the grocery store and you saw a cute girl like down the aisle and you were too scared to just simply introduce yourself and say hi or even ask her a question. And think about just how shitty it made you feel that you didn't have the balls to simply just go up and introduce yourself. Really, you want to take every advantage you can get, separating yourself from 99% of people out there that don't have this ability. And let's face it, right? Like I said, you're going to feel like shit if you don't do it, if you don't approach that cute girl afterwards. So let's talk a little bit about the cons of cold approach. One con is the whole time constraint and the location, how many people are out and about in general. That's definitely a con. Cold approach, as beneficial as it is, it's not always going to be the best use of your time. You're going to have to run kind of a lot of volume, right? You're usually going to have to approach at least 6 or 7 girls every time you go out. And out of the 6 or 7, usually about 4 out of the 6 will lead to flaky numbers. And then say 2 out of the 6, maybe 2 of them respond to you. And then out of those 2, maybe just 1 leads to a date, right? So think about, 1 out of every 6 women you approach leading to a date versus like a dating app where the app itself is designed for you to go on dates. It's much easier to land and get a date, obviously, off a dating app where it's built for dating, as opposed to cold approach where you're literally shooting kind of like a dart, right? In the dark, blindfolded. And lastly, most people, they're not going to have time to go on like an instant date when you're cold approaching. Most people don't have time to go on an instant date. They're going somewhere. They might be going to work. They might be busy running errands. They might be in a hurry. So the whole time constraint thing is definitely an issue with cold approach. You really got to make that connection within 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes even less than that if the girl is in a hurry. So overall, what should you guys be doing? Here's the overall bottom consensus. If you want to get good at anything in life, including dating, it's going to take time. There aren't any shortcuts. It's going to take and be a lengthy process. You're going to have to put in effort, developing your social skills, putting yourself out there, cold approaching, developing a good dating app profile, making it really high tier, getting high quality photos. Either sides of the equation are going to take time, but overall, anything good in life takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. You need to be leveraging both cold approach and dating apps, man. So my best advice is become a master at both. Create a stellar, great dating app profile, high quality photos showcasing your lifestyle, great prompts, and at the same time, throughout your day, make the effort to talk to people, improve your social skills, talk to women. You need to be able to do both. Become proficient, have a great dating app profile, and also be able to cold approach and reduce that approach anxiety and really get ahead of 99% of the people that don't even have the balls to go approach that cute girl, man. So overall, the consensus is you need to become a master at both. And a lot of you guys out there are gonna say, oh, what about social circle? That's basically cold approach if you really think about it. If you go to a networking event, if you go to a salsa class, if you go to Pilates or yoga, do you really think that women are just going to come up to you and start a conversation? You still need to be able to go and put yourself out there and talk to strangers. So many guys I talk to talk about social circle, but you just don't get it. It's the same shit as cold approach. You're still talking to strangers. You still need to get out of your comfort zone and introduce yourself to that stranger. It's the same thing. You can't escape cold approach, man. You need to be able to grow a pair and start a conversation with strangers. You need to be able to go and introduce yourself to that cute girl. No one's gonna do it for you. No one's coming to save you. You need to be able to cold approach, even if you're going the social networking route, man. With all that being said, hope this video helped you all. And again, if you're a South Asian guy who's struggling with your dating life, please check out the first link in the description. Click the first link in the description to join my South Asian Warriors program, where I help South Asian men improve their dating life. And also be sure to check out that free Discord server. That is the third link in the description. It's basically a forum where you can ask questions about fitness, dating, self-improvement. I'll be going on there from time to time to answer your guys' questions as well. And you can interact with other people on that forum. That is the third link in the description. And with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.